episode number 66 of the Chronicles of Tyria podcast, Guild Wars 2 podcast for fans, by fans. This intro piece was written by Bromms, so bear with me on this. So on this week's episode, we'll be talking with Matt Visual, and apparently I will continue to fangirl over Halloween and Mad King McScary Pumpkins.
Nice.
So, again, I'm here with Naveen and Bromms, and our very, very special guest, Mr. Matt Visual.
Other side.
Hey, what's up?
Hey.
What's up? Thanks so much for being with us today.
Oh, well, thank you.
And
Thank
sorry
you.
about all the confusion from last week's show.
No,
Yeah.
see, that's my fault because YouTube, I knew it was acting out because I sent the message and it wouldn't go in, and I was like, So I waited and I kept the page up, so I'm guessing it just kind of like messed up when I pressed send, and I thought it said send. Yeah. But yeah, that's what happened. So it's totally not my fault at all that I didn't double check.
Oops.
Yeah.
Then he's in the chat room going, "Hey guys, are we still up for tonight?" And I'm like, I'm about to press the broadcast button.
Oh yeah. I was just like, I didn't send the message. That's why I was like, oh well. Oh
That's
well.
fine. But hey, you're here this week, so
Yeah.
So-
I'm good now.
Yep. So just to let everybody know, we're gonna be grilling Matt for all of his deepest, darkest secrets, and talking about Halloween, the return of Halloween, and whatever other little interesting things we can come up with.
Yes.
So just to kind of start us off real quick, we got a message last week from one of our members, Pirate, and he just said, basically he found a Reddit thread, and it was just calculating the math behind Magic Find, because as we all know, they changed the way Magic Find works, and through this mathematical analysis here, they're saying about 150% Magic Find on your character is about where the money starts to get too much to keep boosting up your Magic Find, and about where you're going to see the best reward. So 150% account-wide Magic Find. We'll post a link to that thread in the description. I don't know. What do you guys think? Have you seen major differences in your pickups from Magic Find on your account?
not really.
No.
I'm not even sure if the essence of luck is doing anything.
I see it pick up that number, and I want it to go as high as possible, but
Thing is, like, it slows down so much once you get up to a certain point that, like, now I don't even bother to look and see how much it's going up because I just get disappointed every time I see it.
Right.
But yeah, I haven't noticed a big difference. I guess I am getting more yellows, but I don't know if that's because of that or if it's just because of the events I'm doing or what. But
Yeah, it's one of those things that you're just gonna have to grind to get eventually.
yeah,
And because if they made it easier to get, then
Everyone-
everyone will have full Magic Find.
right.
So it's one of those things. It's like, oh, should we make it extremely hard or easy or somewhere in between? I don't know, but yeah, it's something you're gonna have to work on. Eventually, you will get to the max level, like after a very long time. I wonder if anyone already reached max level.
I'm
Makes me
sure
wonder.
there's always one person, that's got it.
I've
First
heard
day,
I've heard it caps at 300% account-wide, and then you can boost it from the boosters. So I think you can get probably close to around 500% total Magic Find,
Wow.
which I think,
I don't
based
know.
on the calculation, still only means like if you had a 1 in 10 chance to get an item, now you maybe have a 5 in 10 chance to get that item, so about 50% chance. I think that's how it works, but I'm not sure.
If they do this for Gold Find, it would be amazing.
Oh man, yeah.
It'd be amazing. Make it as grindy as possible. I don't care. Can you imagine like leveling up a character? Oh gosh, that'd be great.
Holy cow. No.
Yeah. That should be next. I'm gonna write that down. Gold Find account wide, because right
We're
now
gonna
you
send it to ArenaNet.
Well, it's account wide. It's just you just can't farm it up like you can do luck.
yeah
You just gotta get a lot of achievements, which
yeah. You might get like maybe 20% or something like that across all accounts.
Yeah.
Naveen, this week's show is brought to you by a meme. One of our memes, I assume.
This week's COT podcast is brought to you by the meme max out Hall of Monument points in Guild Wars 1. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Nice.
Wow.
Some people do. I don't.
Yeah.
I only got 30 points, so I'm not gonna complain.
Yeah. Got up to
I,
that
I
too.
I worked hard. I worked hard for that 30 points.
I guess the best question is how many times do you actually use any of the stuff you got? With your 30?
Zero. Like in the beginning of the game, we're like, "Oh wow, these are cool, yeah."
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
don't care anymore. It's just like, "Oh, this doesn't go with my dungeon set that I have."
Exactly. I do. My Necro actually has the heritage staff. The one with the green thingy-majiggy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thingamajig. Yeah.
That's I
Matches.
use for the armor for PvP. If you don't have armor for your character,
Oh,
you
yeah,
can just
that works.
import it so you can not look in starter gear, but that's about it.
Right.
Yeah.
Bummer.
All right. Yeah, I know. I guess if you're a ranger, maybe the pets are good. Maybe.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean,
Yeah.
they're okay.
They're
Well, you
okay.
play ranger. Do you ever use any of the pets?
I use the jellyfish because it's awesome. No,
That's a good reason, yeah.
I don't use those pets at all. So if I did, I'd use the Hollow Monuments versions because they're cooler.
Mm.
But yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I do use the little feather bracers, the bracer dueno, whatever they're called.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, that's about it. That's all I really use from there.
Well, now that
Yeah.
you remind me, like when I play my my ranger, she does have the Black Widow, but other than that, not really.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. So
Chocobo. Black Widow.
let's move on to some. Anybody's got any shout outs? Bromms, it looks like you have.
I do have a shout out.
Yeah.
I was sitting at the entrance of Twilight Arbor, as is my way lately, and some person was calling out to me to come join them for a dance party. So I did, and we sat and talked for like half an hour. It was awesome. So I'm giving a shout out to Amy Jessica Pond of the Guild Aegis Dance Party.
Oh well, that makes sense.
Yeah, that was like the first time that I've ever just like run into a stranger and actually sat down and talked to them, which might just mean that I'm socially inept. But yeah, it was really fun. So
Nice. Hello, Amy Jessica Pond.
Did you guys? I got a shout out. You guys ever heard of Hardcore Adventure Box before?
Hardcore Adventure Box?
I don't.
That-
Yeah, it's just someone remixed some of the 8-bit music.
Oh.
I think I didn't listen to it, but I think I saw it in my come up in my what I should watch on YouTube.
Uh-huh. Me too.
Yeah, like it's actually pretty good. Actually pretty good. Well, I'm not too of a metal guy, but I like Kingdom of Fungus. I like the remix he did with that. It was really good. So if anyone likes rock, Hardcore Adventure Box, like Google it, and there's a couple songs in there for like free.
Oh.
Like
Oh.
you could choose to pay for him to like donate or whatever if you want.
Oh yeah, it's
It's
a
free.
band camp. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll definitely check it out. I like Bandcamp and its format. You can pay if you want to, which is kind of nice.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know
Yeah.
how many people actually do, but but yeah, we will link that in the description as well once this video goes up on YouTube.
Oh, and you guys told me about Memory Burn.
Yes.
Shout out to Memory Burn.
Oh,
No idea
very
who you
excited.
are, but hello, sir.
You have to say howdy A because he's Canadian too.
Oh. Always make fun of my friend for saying A. Even though I rarely recognize it anymore. Like after you listen to them talk, it's like, oh, A? You don't hear it anymore. It's just like in there. Yeah.
I'm French Canadian and I don't even say A.
Your husband does though, and he's
It's weird because now he's in Canada, but he's actually American. He's from Wisconsin.
Well, maybe people in Wisconsin do that anyway. I don't know.
I don't.
It's like the
Plus,
dark
he's
corner.
Asian, like a Chinese American that's been now in Canada says A more often than I do. Anyways,
What can
Yeah.
you do?
Did you have any shout outs, Naveen?
no.
Okay. Me either. I haven't been in game.
Sorry.
I did manage to play Twilight Assault though, so I'm definitely a fan. Like to point that out. So
Dude, I still have not done that dungeon.
Oh,
The
why?
heck?
Because when I'm playing, I'm either doing my dailies or I'm streaming for Guild Wars 2 Live and like it's only 2 hours, right? So I'm not gonna bother going in the dungeon. I'm doing other
Not
stuff.
with a pug group.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I'm not sure
Let's
what
not
I'm
do that.
And 2 hours of a repair bill. Whoa.
No.
Yeah.
well, you
No.
can use that nice new looking for group tool we have.
I
Try to-
know, and I really like that tool. Seriously, it's quite amazing. I just need some free in-game time that I'm not doing anything specifically. I'm just hopping on there to do the dungeon.
It's not that long if you have people with you. You know what I'm saying? If you have them on Mumble or TeamSpeak or Ventrilo, it's fine. But once you get a looking for group tool people, then I've heard people say that it took them 5 hours with a pug group. So
Holy cow!
Yeah.
good luck if you're doing a pug group. So
There's a couple people in the guild that I've run it with a couple times, and we've had very mixed results. And the weird thing is, like today, we put in our advertising thing. Like we didn't have a lot of time, so we put in "Please be experienced" because we don't have time to explain all this stuff. And of course, like 2 of the people that joined are like, "This is my first time." Like, why would you join a group that
they don't
why?
read. They
Yeah.
don't read. They just join. You see how fast those parties go? They're like,
I know,
join,
yeah.
join. That's it. You know, it's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
they don't read. I'm like, I've seen the same party come up and they're looking for group tool like 20 times
Oh my
because
gosh.
it's like you have to have Mumble, like, and
Mhm.
people just go in and leave, go in and leave, go in and
Yeah.
leave. So it's one of those things.
Yeah, I think that. Well, I went through with a pretty experienced group my first time through, and I managed to get everything but 2 achievements, and it took about an hour.
Wow.
So
You were very lucky then.
I guess
Yeah.
it was just people in the guild, and it was pretty smooth. You know, I think we only wiped 1 time through the whole dungeon. So yeah, definitely comes down to who you're with, and I mean, I'm not gonna say it's profession makeup, but there was 2 guardians, so that might have helped. I don't know.
Yeah. You need someone to like kite stuff sometimes, especially
Yeah.
those Uzis.
Wall of reflection, pretty helpful.
Yeah.
But it's definitely Naveen will have to do that. Are you streaming tomorrow?
Yep.
I'm working from home.
Oh, so you got to be up at 9 a.m. though, because I start at 9 a.m. Eastern.
Oh man, I have to finish forging an iron throne. I'll be at 9 a.m.
Okie dokie.
We'll do the
I
dungeon
want
tomorrow.
you alert.
I got coffee. We're good to go.
Okay, that's cool.
You did have some news about the Pink Day in LA that you wanted to mention, Naveen?
Yeah, well, just a little bit. Basically, don't forget that it's Pink Day in LA on October 19, and it's going to be both in Guild Wars 1 and Guild Wars 2. Just a little bit of excerpt from one of the websites. Well, guildwars2live.com says gamers giving back and gaming world entertainment network, also known as Gwen, are geared to bring another great Pink Day in LA. Pink Day in LA grows bigger every year, and this year Guild Wars 2 Live will be providing the largest coverage of the event ever. So, because basically, yeah, it's going to be a lot of streamers doing that too at the same time. So it's really a big community event, and it's to raise awareness for breast cancer and other types of cancer too, not just breast cancer. But
What is it called?
go see, it's Pink Day in LA.
Okay.
This
Heard
started
of
back
another
in
charity.
this started back in Guild Wars 1, I think originally. That's
Yeah.
actually why Pink Dye is now available in Guild Wars 1 was
Yeah.
because of this event.
Yeah.
Because way back in the beginning, you used to have to take your dyes, and this is before they had the dye preview tools.
The
You used
red
to
dye and the
mix
silver dye.
3 or 4 dyes together and hope that it came out pink.
Yeah.
And then they're like, "How about we just pink dye for
Yeah,
free?"
here's
Here you
Pink
go.
Dye. But at first it was
really
it was a character thing only. You couldn't trade it. I can't
Yeah.
remember what it's called in Guild Wars 1. It's not character bound, it's something else. It's untradeable. But yeah, like you could that was only for one character, and then they made it so that anyone could get it. So you could trade it to your friends because some people had stacks of pink dye and they didn't even know what to do with them. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, check this out. Everywhere around the Guild Wars 2 community.
Yep. And I think they are still doing it in Guild Wars 1 as well as in Guild Wars 2.
Yeah, they're
So-
streaming in both games. So.
Yep.
Groovy.
I would do it, but Saturdays, can't.
Is it this Saturday?
No, it's October 19th.
19th.
So next Saturday.
Oh, okay. I was about to say because Pokemon comes out Saturday.
I know. I'm so excited.
Woo! I bought a 3DS just to play that. Oh,
Really?
I'm getting off topic though.
No, that's topic for a
Rocking the purple.
Oh, I just-
nice.
Yeah.
mine's upstairs.
That's
Otherwise,
blue.
like, I upgraded to the my 3DS, my Pokemon 3DS XL. I upgraded just for Pokemon.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
really?
Yeah.
Hmm.
I should
I
have
was
asked
about-
a 3DS for our anniversary gift. Tomorrow's 5 years married. Crazy.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I've been married.
Uh-oh.
We'll edit this part
Uh-oh.
though.
Watch out for your answer.
On July
Oh.
4th, I've been married. What, 4 years? 4 years.
Married on the
Nice.
4th of July.
My wife is listening, so she's gonna be like, "Oh, yeah." But 4 years. Yeah, 4 years. So I got married young, but yeah.
That's
Gotcha.
okay.
That's awesome.
I'll be. Well, it was a year, Labor Day. So
Hold up, you're married, but you were. I was watching the other episode, and you were talking about cute YouTubers.
I can look at the menu, doesn't mean I need to order it.
Our little Tobuscus in there, and
Yeah, wait a minute. So we were talking about Pokemon, right? No,
Yeah,
Guild
yeah.
Wars 2 stuff.
Yeah.
Lag, what are you getting? X or Y?
I'm getting Y.
What?
I'm getting X.
Gotta get X, yes.
Gotta get X, man.
Yeah, I think I don't know. I pre-ordered it like when it first came out at like E3
You were
last
ready.
year, and I was
You were
like,
ready.
before we knew anything, we didn't even know the starters. I was like, I want that one. Let's go. Hook me up, GameStop.
This one has nice colors. I'm gonna get that one.
It's pretty much. It's the one that doesn't have the deer on the front, whichever one that is.
Oh, that's the
The
X.
deer is X.
That's X. Yeah.
Yeah.
So then I have Y. Although I will admit that Charizard, whatever the Charizard X is at the
Yeah.
black,
Yeah.
that one looks so much cooler.
Yeah. It does.
I mean, it's not too late to switch. I could switch, but somebody's got to trade you guys version exclusives. So
There you go.
yeah. I mean, they're having. Well, man, I'm not gonna go into it. I'm not. Gonna, I was about to say they have some trading system and stuff like that, so you could probably get. But yeah, it's not Pokemon. Okay, it's not
after the
Pokemon.
show, move on. So Bromms, you put this under my name, but you put in something about the free gem transfers to medium population servers.
Yeah, that's because I am not very good at paying attention to things. Yeah, basically, there's going to be discounted world transfers for the new World v World season. So if you transfer to a medium population server, it's free. But if you want to be awesome and come to Tarnished Coast where all the cool people hang out, it's 800 gems until the 17th, which is a pretty big discount. I think isn't it 1600 to transfer normally?
Yeah. So
So,
it's
yeah.
basically off. Yeah.
So if you want to transfer between October 17th and I think December 5th, that's when you want to do that.
That's pretty cool. Tarnished
Yeah.
Coast. Oh, speaking of which, a shout out, a small shout out to my sister, Vanessa, because we got her Guild Wars 2. She moved in with me, and we got her Guild Wars 2, so now it's like 3 people playing Guild Wars 2 in the house.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is.
But for some reason, she doesn't want to join our guild yet because she thinks she's not high enough of a level. And I'm like, dude, you can be level 1. Doesn't even matter. Like,
Yeah, we have people that don't even do PvE content ever. They just roleplay and that's it. So,
yeah. So, shout out to my sister Vanessa. Welcome.
What
to
server are
Guild
you
Wars
guys on?
Tarnished Coast.
Tarnished Coast.
Wow.
Oh, which-
Everyone's on Tarnished Coast.
Well, that's
you
why
should come over. It's awesome. man.
I'm thinking about switching, and Tarnished. It's either Tarnished Coast or Black Gate, and like most of everyone. Some of my commanders move over to Tarnished Coast, so I'm thinking about going over there. I mean,
Oh,
it was
of
$20.
course.
It's like
Well, it's going to be 800 gems in 2 weeks
that'll-
or a week. So
Theoretically, if my math is correct, it'll be $10, right?
Yeah.
If I'm doing that right, about
I
half
think
off.
it's $10. $10 for 800.
oh, it's gonna be 800.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's not already.
No,
It's
it starts on
1800,
the
I think.
7th. Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was 800. I thought it was free for medium servers, 800 for high servers, and then they didn't even show the very high servers, and the very high servers are like 18, right? 1800.
Yeah, I think it becomes.
Oh, you're right.
From
Yeah.
populated.
1800 for very
Yeah.
high, 800
Yeah,
for high.
and on US,
Oh, that's
all
dope.
you have is very high and high. That's
Yeah.
all you got. And
Yeah,
the
pretty
high
much.
servers, they're not
Yeah.
too good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I might just bite the bullet and transfer over and see what happens. Cause
Do it.
It should.
You know,
I'm
we-
looking for like I'm looking for a guild. I'm looking to
What?
record some of the.
What?
Hey, we know one actually that's really good.
We know this guild.
I'm starting over fresh, so
You know,
and
we,
I want to
Welcome to Chronicles of Tyria. COT.
we you know, it's funny. We do see a lot of the other day and a couple of different times. Dolphy's been running around on our server and stuff like that. So I don't know if she's permanently on Tarnished Coast, but she's been there at least. Did World v World. She was on a Tarnished Coast, and some people did like the Tequatl stuff with her. So it was you, Bromms, right? You were there in the one
Yeah.
Tequatl video.
Yeah, it
that she
was
did.
Memory Burn and myself.
Yeah, so it's
Yeah.
where the cool people hang out, and we're not. We're usually what are we 4th usually in World versus World for like, or we're usually top of our tier if we're not in
Tier two,
the
yeah.
top 3. So
I just want some organization, man. It's like, I mean, Borderless Pass had that, but it wasn't like nonstop. Like I hear Blackgate is, and like all the high servers, they're like very organized. They know exactly what they're doing, and they even paid for some of the good commanders from other low populated servers to come to the high ones. They're like, so I don't know, man. I want a good World v World, a decent World v World that I can invest my time into, and a nice community server, because I don't know, Wordless Pass is straight and all, but some of the people, man, some of the people.
Yeah.
Some of the
yeah. It's no Tarnished
Server
Coast
drama.
is pretty good. Yeah,
Yeah.
I hear you.
Arla Cardalina in the chat room, she said she is talking about Dolphy, but she said that she switched back.
Okay.
So, and
Yeah,
the reason for my shout out was that I was going to mention that she chose Tarnished Coast and she got in right away.
Wow.
Yeah, there's like weird times of the day where you can just be like, oh, I can log in to Tarnished Coast today. I don't know.
Yeah.
I know sometimes the Tarnished Coast website, like I've mentioned a couple times before on the show,
They do
blackouts
Yeah.
where everybody will mass log out to allow people to transfer in.
Mm-hmm.
Which happens every so often. They can organize an event to have them do a blackout to let people transfer in. But yeah, some people just get lucky. First try right into the server.
We play, I'd like to get some.
Oh, it's
We play,
full?
I'd like to get lucky.
It moves around.
Yeah, during parts of the
Oh.
day it's full. It's weird.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
At
Wow,
lea-
that's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
We had for a while, like if you go back maybe 4 months, 5 months, we had people like for weeks trying to find the time
Yeah.
to get in because they couldn't get in.
Yeah. It's
So-
crazy. So when my sister said, yeah, I'm in, I'm like, really? Okay, let's start playing. This is crazy. I was expecting her to have to guest to our server all the time, but no.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool.
Yeah. We'll talk about it eventually, but we mentioned that we got news about the Halloween patch. I'm gonna post it here in the Twitch chat. Guild Wars 2 Guru had this image up a while ago, and there's nothing that's showing that image on their new release page, but I want to know what's in the box. What's in the box?
Precursors.
Matt. I was gonna say Matt probably already knows, but
Oh yeah, right. No, I don't have that type of connection.
Well, when you put what's in the box, I thought you were linking back because I watched that video that you had posted up, Matt, with where you got the Scarlet present, and I was like, oh, cool! I just watched that today. I know what you're talking about, and now I don't anymore.
Blues
so,
and greens.
oh yeah,
Yes.
people in the
Yeah,
chat room.
blues and greens.
Yes.
Two blues
Yes.
and green.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's
Princess
probably-
Maya wigs. Nice.
I went on this big like not rant, but I said some stuff. I was like, the rewards kind of suck for the dungeon, you know? It's just like losing greens, you know, for like so many hours of plays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know
Yeah.
some people agree with me, some disagree with me, which is fine. It's just like for me, like you're investing hours of your time into a dungeon just to get blues and greens. I'm straight. I'm so straight. I'd rather do something else.
yeah.
Do something else, man.
Yeah.
It's a good dungeon though.
It's a little better now with champion boxes and stuff, but it's still yeah.
And I mean, you can. We talked about Magic Find before, but you know, kind of blues and greens have a purpose, sort of.
Yeah, that's true.
Once you hit that wall, it's just like, 10 doesn't really give me much on my XP bar for luck. That's
yeah.
great. 10 points, 10 points, 10 points. You just sitting there clicking forever. They need to add like a right click that says, okay, use 100 of these items or use 100 drops or something.
Right.
Yeah. Or buy multiple things. Like if you go to like a vendor and you want to buy a whole bunch of something and you have to click there each time to buy, you can't just.
Yeah.
Can we have a slider?
Kobe shards, all your karma. Just
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
buying.
Buy 25, and then you know.
Yeah, that would be nice because I was buying drinks today to get my title up a little bit, and I actually bought a stack of something martinis, and then because they were only like 14 karma each, right? So I was like, click, 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 click. Okay, let me get a stack faster.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah. Clouded in the chat room says Matt wants to play once a week and have all ascended.
Once a week. No, I don't mind grinding. I mean, I have 500 gold from just champion farming. I don't mind. I play. It's just the thing of my time. I rather do that champion farm or something else other than doing the dungeon.
Right.
That's my thing. I'll play something else instead of the dungeon. Not that I just won't play at all because the dungeon's not good enough. No, that's misunderstand.
People are talking
Yeah.
about cookie clicker in the chat now.
Yes.
Not good. It's not good.
Oh my gosh. Matt
Oh,
was
man.
talking to us about that before the show. That
My
game
addiction?
looks weird. Sounds
Oh,
weird,
yeah.
I mean.
Yeah, you click a bunch of cookies and Crimson in the chat will tell you. Then the grandmas will change and they start like going like demonic and satanic in the background of the cookie.
It sounds
clicker,
like the weirdest game ever.
Yeah. That's if you upgrade them and you feed them more and more cookies.
Now I want to
It's-
play. Still, yeah.
So the
I
moral
don't
of the
know.
game is never feed cookies to grandmas.
Yes.
Right.
I'll buy
Grandmas
two.
are supposed to be sweet and nice and
They
not
begin
like,
sweet.
Yeah, but they're like gremlins. When
I was
you
gonna
feed
say,
them
don't feed them after midnight.
They're like the mogwai things. Yeah, turn them gremlins.
Oh, jeez.
All right.
All right, let's move on so we can actually get to what we were planning on doing.
Yeah.
You know, sidetrack.
Oops.
Awesome.
We can talk about Pokemon again.
We, you know, again, I got all the time in the world. I got nothing to do. I'm working from home tomorrow. But yeah, Bromms, did you read too much, or any of you other guys hear about this space they were talking about in Obsidian Sanctum for Guild versus Guild? Did you guys hear about this?
I did read
No.
about it. Actually, it sounds really
It's-
cool.
Just again, a little clarification. Obsidian Sanctum is the separate map they made for the World v World jumping puzzle. What was happening a lot was people wanted to do Guild versus Guild, and we know that that's not a thing. So people would go into World versus World, one guild from one server, one guild from another server, and Guild versus Guild. for a while, this was happening in the Borderlands, so you'd get locked out, couldn't get into your own Borderlands because guild were guild versus guilding off somewhere in the corner of the map. Now they're moving to the jumping puzzle, which is a separate map, so they can guild versus guild in there. And then, Bromms, you want to take it away for what? I forget who the dev was that mentioned this, but
Yeah, well, they're actually building. They're going to be building a specific wide open area for these bigger battles, and they're removing the ability to go from EB into the jumping puzzle, and they're actually going to make it so on the drop down menu you can just select to go right into the Obsidian Sanctum. So I don't know if it's necessarily specifically for guild versus guild, because they said they wanted to make a long-term solution specifically for that. But I think it's going to be like a short-term kind of thing, or if you just want to go in there and jump into a big battle with just, you know, people that are there for the same thing without having to worry about all the supply runs. It sounds cool. I mean, it's definitely catering to a certain part of the audience. So
They announced this after that whole thing with the dev?
well, this was Devin Carter that announced it it was today, like 7 hours ago.
Wow.
So yeah.
They really took
about the
flack
dev
for that.
interrupted the guild. Yeah, it was after that. Yeah.
Yeah, I would bet. They're like, oh, blah, 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 you ruined our stuff. Like,
Yeah.
it's gonna be the same problem though, don't you think? Because I mean, there's gonna be a bunch of people who want to GVG, and then there's just gonna be this short little space that you can go into. Like, it's still gonna be a problem regardless.
I think the reason that, like, just so for people that don't know, last week there was kind of an upset because somebody that had an ArenaNet tag was kind of harassing these people that were trying to do guild versus guild in a world v world map, and he was basically telling them, like, that's not what world versus world maps are for, so you're not supposed to do it here. So there was kind of a controversy about that for a bit. But I think what it'll fix is that instead of them taking up slots on the World v World maps, it'll just be in the Obsidian Sanctum. So if you're in the regular World v World map, you're going to be doing things that pertain to that instead of having these large-scale battles just for guild versus guild.
Yeah. There's gonna be some fights in there. I just know it.
Oh yeah. There's always going to be people
This
jumping
is our
in,
space. You move over there. Blah, blah,
Uh-huh.
blah, blah. But it'll be a good place to get some 1v1s. Like, oh, all right, you meet over here in this little corner here, and then we can just fight in 1v1.
Yeah.
Right.
That would be pretty cool to see.
and there'll be me trying to go through the jumping puzzle. And it'll be like I'll walk right through a guild versus guild and then just get destroyed.
Yeah.
Because as long as they don't do what they did with the cutthroat politics stuff and put like places you have to go to get like scavenger hunt items in the jumping puzzle.
Yeah.
When there's guild versus guild happening in there. So you're like, as long as I can. Yeah, that happened to us.
I don't
one
think
time.
they will.
Gosh, I was
Because
so
it-
frustrated.
Yeah. The other cool thing about that is that they're disabling the bloodlust buffs that you can get from the Borderlands while you're in the Obsidian Sanctum.
Right.
So it'll be kind of even battlegrounds for different
That makes
sides.
sense. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a good step in the right direction for solving, hopefully, that problem.
Yeah.
I think that the ultimate solution, obviously, is just make guild versus guild. Just make it a thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I say that like I know what it is to program guild versus guild into the game. Like, come on, guys, click your little button and make guild
like-
versus guild happen.
They're probably doing everything else first, and it's like on this long list of like stuff, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we'll develop it after we finish the Thermonova reactor or whatever." You know,
Yeah.
it's just like it's just on the list. Not, when they don't want to, pull out crap.
Yeah,
Just like
yeah.
the wallet and the wardrobe. He mentioned the wardrobe to me when I was at PAX, and that's not gonna be in the game for a bit. But, they have to work on it, so. They don't want to just put a crappy one in there. It's like, oh, here you go.
Yeah.
Here you go.
It's on the links right next to guild halls and guild capes.
Layer
Yeah.
housing.
Yeah, guild housing.
Cantha.
Not guild housing. Cantha. Oh my god. Just like in the interview
your
you did
video
with
with your interview.
Cantha.
Yeah.
That was the best.
Oh, man.
Laughed out loud at work. People thought I was pretty weird when I was watching that. So,
People thought he was, doing that on purpose. When I was like, no, that's just me joking around. Like I told him, I was like, obviously you can't answer Cantha, right? You can't answer anything. So just be silent and give me a plain look.
Yeah.
every time I ask it. So oh, Cantha. And he's like, it's so funny because people don't think that the dev is going to be like, you know, be with my jokes. They
Right.
think I'm just being like, you know, overzealous. Oh, I talked to Cullen. I was like, do this. And, you know, he obviously watched some of my videos, so he knows I'm going to do some type of quirky, stupid thing.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That was nice.
Yeah. All right. Next thing on the list, I think. Oh, everybody except for maybe Matt. Maybe he does. Everybody knows. Oh, what time it is?
Whoa. What is going on?
It's data mining time.
Oh, okay. I thought the clothes were coming off when you put that on.
Oh,
Oh,
we didn't tell you about the obligatory costume you have to wear to COT podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just the
So
data mining.
we don't have a lot in the way of data mine information. We have a little bit. I thought it was worth mentioning. Unbreakable. We know we had the flute. We had the weird vuvuzela thing that came out. That horn, the Mariner's horn. Well, mine was drums, a drum set. So an unbreakable drum set. So presumably it'll be the same thing. You know.
Oh my god.
So now you can start to build your band once we get a guitar and a violin or whatever else. You can have your own little
Yeah.
Guild Wars band.
Yeah.
I like that. Like Lotro had something like that where you can play.
Yeah, theirs was pretty crazy. You could get really, really into that. And then the only other thing were these metabolic extenders and metabolic primers. So you eat the metabolic primer, and then any food item that you eat now is applied for 24 hours as opposed to whatever normal duration is.
Yeah, that's huge.
What?
Yeah.
That would be awesome. What? Okay.
Wow.
And
Mind.
Yeah. And I believe the extender is any booster buff. Like if you have a Karma like booster or a Magic Find booster, it does the same thing and makes that 24 hours instead of an hour.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
useful.
Definitely.
I'm willing to bet probably 99% that it's a gem store consumable.
Probably.
Oh yeah.
Sure it is. But the key thing is what's the price, and if they're single time use, how many do you get for how many gems? Because I'm sure that's where it's going to be. Because
I like
But-
unlimited. I'm a man of unlimited stuff.
Yeah. I can't imagine it'll be that much because that's useful, but it's not, it's not game breakingly useful. I don't know.
No, it's not. I mean, it's convenience, and that's what the gem store should be, is convenience.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
So,
Yeah.
who wants
So-
to click on the same Pop-Tart over and over again?
Yeah.
Nom Pop-Tart creamy pie thingy, whatever. Just keep clicking it. It's just like, oh, I got 2 minutes left, but I'm going to click it anyway.
Yeah.
Because, it's like, I'm going to
I'm
forget.
gonna forget. Yeah, exactly.
what I did notice, though, which, just in case you guys didn't know, the boosters, like Karma Booster or Experience Booster or whatever, if you click multiples of those, they stack up. So if you click 3 Karma Boosters, you'll have 3 hours as opposed to 1 hour. And it doesn't-
Oh, I didn't know that.
Me neither.
but food and nourishment buffs overwrite. So if you have, Berry Creamy Pop-Tarts or whatever, and you click 10 of them, you just wasted 9 of them, basically.
Wow.
So I don't know why they wouldn't if they do it with the boosters, the ones you have to pay for in the gem store, but the ones you can get for free, they overwrite.
Right.
Maybe that's just a inadvertent gold sink. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, so be on the lookout for metabolic primers and extenders and drum kits.
Interesting. Which speaking of data mining, remember when you said the Jack in the Box the other week, and then it came on the gem store? It's the creepiest thing ever.
Mm-hmm.
It is. It gives you nightmares. It's crazy. It's like
Yeah.
I wanted
Yeah.
it to be like, but no, unfortunately,
Yeah,
it's still creepy.
It's pretty creepy. I'm curious to see what they're going to have for the logging axe, because we have the bone pick, the Jack in the Box scythe, and I'm assuming this coming Tuesday we'll get the axe.
See, I'm not liking this, man. I'm thinking I got the rarest, like, oh, you're never going to get the unlimited axe again, right?
Yeah.
And now there's like different skins, and I'm like, oh man, I want those too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're all account bound. No, not account bound. They're all soul bound.
Soul
So
bound.
it's just like,
Yeah.
okay, if you're gonna do this, you might as well make it account bound. You might as well, because if we're gonna have different skins, why have it all on one character?
I was sure they were account bound. They're soul bound?
Yeah,
They're
Yeah.
account bound until you equip them.
Oh, right, right.
Right.
Okay.
It's like
'Cause it makes-
legendaries.
Yeah. Well, it's like they're really useful being account bound sitting in my bank, so I can't use them.
exactly.
Citrus Robot in the chat room says, Drum Kit, Jack in the Box, Mad King's Son, Evil Playroom theme, calling it.
Yeah, I guess we'll have to see. But let's actually get to what we were going to talk about today. How about that?
What?
All right.
Grilling Matt about his life.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh.
I mean, asking questions and being respectful interviewers.
Oh,
yeah.
of course.
Yeah.
Let me get ready for this.
Well, we asked on Twitter and Facebook if the general public had any questions for Matt, and so there's Tillian and Danielle or I don't know on Twitter asked, "What's up, Matt?"
What's up? How you doing?
There
These
you
are guys from Dragon Season, I believe.
go.
right?
Yeah, I don't know about Daniel. I'm not sure though, but Tillian for sure.
Yeah.
And then we did get an email saying, "Hi everyone at Chronicles Eteria. My question for Matt is if he enjoys personal story in Guild Wars 2. If so, what's his favorite moment? Thank you for all a great show every week. Storm."
It definitely depends on the race. Like some of the races is like it's a little boring, but some of the races are actually pretty good. I enjoyed a little bit of Norn, a little bit of human-ish. And some Azuras are fine. I guess it's all about the missions, but I mean, it all leads into the same place, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So, I think my favorite would have to be beating Zaitan, because that fight was just absolutely awesome. I mean, the mechanics of pressing 1 and 2 over and over again. I think that is my favorite, hands down. That's my
Yeah. Oh, totally. I mean,
favorite. Yeah. You guys agree, right?
Oh, yeah.
Definitely.
The ending is always the best part of.
I actually practiced for that fight ahead of time on my keyboard. Just 1 2 1 2 1 2. I got really good at it.
Yeah, especially when I think Naveen, you and I were doing that one together when when it first came out.
Mhm.
The dungeon was glitched in like whatever week we did it, so all the mobs that are supposed to spawn on the deck of the ship didn't spawn.
Never spawned.
So we just sat at the gun and kept hitting 2 to shoot Zaitan, and nothing happened. We just sat there and did that till he died. Nothing like. Destiny's Edge is all dead on the ship behind us, and we're just like, well, all right. When does it get like waiting? Like, okay, at some point, like we're gonna shoot his wings off, and then he's gonna land, and then it's gonna be awesome.
Right. I disconnected halfway in the first time I did it. Disconnected and missed like all the cutscenes and stuff. I was like,
No.
no. That was the first time. And yeah, and I was recording it, and I was like, no, I'm not doing that all over again. I'm not doing that all over again.
Oh, that blows. That sucks.
Yeah, but like, I mean, I went back and beat it again, but I was like, did I miss anything? Because like, I was gone for like 10 minutes, so I'm assuming I missed something, and we're at the end, right, when we're pressing 2 to finish off the last bit. We fought him, right? No, all we did was fight some mobs, and now we're killing him. I'm like, what? Are you kidding me? Oh my god. No, it was still the best.
Oh well, I mean, yeah, hands down.
Yeah. All thanks to Traherne.
Oh yeah,
Definitely.
I mean, where would we be without him?
Yes.
Nowhere.
Oh man.
We're obviously not smart enough to be the hero, so.
No, I mean, we don't have the courage to ask somebody else to go ask somebody else what they think about us and be a good leader. I mean, I'm not that courageous. But yeah.
We did have a second question though from the general public, and it's actually from Memory Burn, your biggest fan. He says, "What do you consider to be the most important stepping stone to his having become pretty big in the community.
Are you talking about in YouTube, Guild Wars 2 YouTube space?
Yeah, because I guess what he was
Yes.
saying is he's been watching and following you for a long time, and recently, as we've all kind of seen, you really blown up. So
I wouldn't consider. All right, I guess I'm
mean-
decently sized for the Guild Wars 2 community, but like it's like to really, it's no formula really. Really, what you can do is do something you really enjoy. What I enjoy is the camera stuff and the jokes that I do. Right, Guild Wars 2, like when I do the news patch videos, like when you see me do all that, like it's an excuse for me to be me and just joke around. It's an excuse. It's I mean, yes, I play Guild Wars 2, but like really, what I really like about the video is those jokes that I do and making people laugh. And I think you need to find that thing that you like doing, right? If you want to get into the Guild Wars 2 community. Find what you like doing, whether it be builds, guides, podcasts, whatever you want to do, right? And I know it's hard. Yeah, everyone says it's try to be different, and also just try to be yourself, really. And I mean, if you're gonna be doing stuff with the mic and stuff, you're gonna have to get a good mic. It's a big process. Like
Yeah.
you gotta get the editing program. And you can't be cheap with it. You gotta get, like Adobe Premiere, Sony Vegas, all those. Any of those are good. Like it's time consuming. Like if you're gonna do the long story short, if you're gonna go into this, you're gonna have to have some time to put towards it. You can't just be like, I want to be on YouTube and make videos. I'm just gonna talk on the mic and barely do editing and just throw it up there. Unless you're Woodenpotatoes.
Oh!
oh,
Uh-oh.
He's watching, so I could make fun of him.
So was there a point where you realized that you kind of went from a person making YouTube videos to like someone that was really well recognized in the community?
He just texted me on Skype. All right. You said. Well, when did I realize the moment that?
Yeah, like what was the moment where you went from like, oh, I'm just making YouTube videos for a game that I liked, like, holy crap, people know who I am now.
It would have to be last year when I started doing the camera stuff. When I saved up, right, all the extra money I can muster and bought a. Oh, where is it? I bought a not camcorder. I bought a Canon T3i, and started doing videos like I always wanted to do, and I got a green screen and everything like that, and really started messing around with that. And of course, like I made sure the green screen is like perfect, no lines, no nothing, And when I started messing with stuff like that, I think that's when I kind of started getting some growth, and people started seeing my personality, and they enjoyed it, and after a while, I grew pretty quickly during that time when I started making those legendary guide videos and stuff like that. And people enjoyed them, and people started tweeting them out. And then Guild Wars 2 tweeted out a couple of my videos. And I remember when I started, I started with the short films, and Guild Wars 2 tweeted that out. And they're like, "Oh, we've been watching you for a while." And when I went to PAX, they were like, "Oh, we've been watching you since way back," or whatever. And they don't hate me too much when I talk bad about their game, which is always great. And sometimes I always feel like, oh man, this might be a little bit of negative video, but it's not really negative,
Yeah,
it's always really hard to, because you know some of the devs, so it's just like I'm not bashing, I'm just trying to say some stuff that I have some concerns for, which is always good for the community. You really need to be critical about certain things to really get through. I mean, if everyone says, "Oh, Guild Wars 2 is amazing," we will still have the same crappy living story events that we had back in Karka. Remember the Lions Arch Karka event?
Oh, yeah.
South Sun? That was amazing. Probably one of the best.
Yeah.
and smacking signs with a hammer.
I am
mean-
a fan of slideshows personally. So
Slideshows. Wow. That's amazing.
Oh yeah.
As long as I don't attack the devs. Oh, I never attack the devs.
I think it's. I mean, like, when we're. I mean, we're sometimes negative about the game too, but it's out of being passionate for the game. It's not. It's not because we don't like the devs or don't like the game. It's because we like it so much that we're so critical. Like, we want it to succeed and we want people to like it. So
Right.
I mean, we've been sticking around for 7 years for Guild Wars 1, and it feels like I was waiting for Guild Wars 2 for like forever. Like, I remember the first PC Gamer magazine. I went out in college, I walked to the local supermarket to buy that magazine and be like, what? Guild Wars 2? And that was going to be potions in the game and all this other craziness.
Yeah.
And, you know, I want, like you said, Bromms, I want the game to succeed. I want it to be successful. And, I mean, I might bash the game, but I'm in the game just about every single day for multiple hours a day. My wife complains about how much time I spend playing the game. You know, it's not because I hate it and I just want to, you know, troll ArenaNet. But
Yeah.
so I think we kind of already figured out a little bit about who you are, Matt, in case anybody doesn't know, and what you kind of do for Guild Wars 2 community as a whole. And we talked about this before, but do you like do all the editing for your videos?
Yes, I do. I am not that big to be like hiring some guy to like edit all my videos. No, I spend hours and hours editing some of those videos, that, you know, those big ones as well. And I remember showing on Twitter, like, you know, all the cuts and edits that I had to do, and you just see all this pile of crap for like 10 minutes. So it's time consuming, but at the end result, when you get those comments, was like, oh my gosh, you made my day. You know, that's what makes it worth it. It sounds cheesy, but really, that's, you know, that's where it's at, really. I mean, I don't do this for myself. I don't be like, well, you know, this makes me happy. You know, it's like, this is just for me. I'm just putting it out there, and you guys are just reaping, you know, the rewards. No, it's like, I really do it for them, and they enjoy it, and that's just the reason why I think, you know, Woodenpotatoes, Dante, why that's why we all do it, really.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I do it for the Lamborghini that's, you know, parked outside, but other than that, no.
yeah.
We've been getting the short end of the stick on this one.
I don't know how much money you make.
No, I kid.
I don't even have enough for a car or putt.
We need like COT scooters.
Yeah, right? As soon as I put an option on Cafe Press, we'll have COT scooters up there.
Yep.
Wear it with my cool COT shoes.
Yeah,
There you go.
COT shirt, bro.
Yeah.
COT Lamborghini.
Yeah, well, keep dreaming.
That'll never happen.
Then you just stomp her dreams. Like a bug. It's just like, oh,
Nice.
no Lamborghini. Go one of those car shows and just jump in. That's it.
Yeah.
They don't mind. They don't care about that, right?
Nah, they certainly don't.
You've mentioned Woodenpotatoes, obviously. So what's it like working with Woodenpotatoes?
It's great. He's like a celebrity, you know. Oh, I'm gonna mess with him now. He's a regular dude. I mean, just like me. I mean, I hollered at him like a few months ago, and we got to talking, and, you know, one thing led to another, and then we're getting married next month. So, you know, invites will be sent out. Oh, thank you.
That's awesome.
I proposed, by the way. I wear the pants in
Oh.
so. But it's great to have someone else really doing Guild Wars 2 stuff with you and stuff like that, and I'm happy to be doing stuff with him.
Wow.
Little tear.
So I take it then you've actually seen what he looks like then.
Yeah, actually, we've showed this before.
I think I know what you're gonna show. So
he looks like Scarlett Johansson. You know Scarlett Johansson? Yeah,
Yeah.
he kind of looks like that, right? You know.
Interesting.
So I showed a picture, and strange resemblance.
I
But,
know.
yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy for people who have watched the podcast before. Strange
Yeah,
resemblance.
no,
But yeah, he's hot, man. He's hot. I gotta say.
Oh, see, now we know why. I mean, that probably aids in the marriage, I would imagine, right?
Yeah. Oh, yes. It's weird with the voice, you know, because he still sounds like a guy, but he looks extremely hot. So it's just,
all he has to do is not talk, and you're good.
yes. That's it, man. That's it.
Nice.
Wow.
Instead of the bag over the head is like such.
Oh my gosh.
Not right now, babe. Not right now.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, this is all I could ever dream about. This is great.
You're gonna have to do a video about that. Seriously.
Yeah.
One day I will see how he looks like. One day. To answer it honestly. One day. I don't even know his name, so
Yeah, no, because I remember when he was doing like the massive Q&A session, like the 3 video Q&A. He's like, maybe I'll put in a picture. I watched all 3 of them.
Right.
Trick, I'm on to you now. I understand. I see how it works.
That was his plan all along, for you
Maybe
to watch the
I'll
whole
put a
thing.
picture in one of these 3-hour videos.
Well, clearly he doesn't want people sending him like, you know, marriage proposals all the time, so he just has to keep his identity secret. That's all.
I think he mentioned this, but he said he was gonna put a picture, right, with many people inside of the picture, and then, you know, like it'll be like an old picture, and he was like, oh, you know, here's a picture of me, but you know, you don't know which one it is. You know? So he was gonna do that, but he never did that. Yeah, I haven't even seen that picture either. I would like to see that picture. I would like to see that picture. Woodenpotatoes. So send that over.
Spirit Face says, "This just in: Woodenpotatoes is the Batman
Could be.
with an English accent."
I don't know. His voice isn't deep enough to be the Batman.
We'll see about that.
Well, we kind of also answered this next question we had too, which was, do you have a guild associated with your channel? But
I did have a guild. I got suckered into this. Like, I did not want a guild for the channel because it's a little complicated having a guild with a YouTube channel, right? You know, something happens, drama happens in the guild, just like on the dislike and comment
Right.
on my video, and it's happened. But I ended that, and that's why I'm like moving and stuff like that. And of course, the people who I've had in the guild, we're still friends and stuff like that. And we still talk or whatever. But like, I don't know, like running a guild and trying to do YouTube and have a life at the same time.
Yeah.
It's quite hard, you know, unless I have someone running the guild for me. There was like no point in that, and I don't like half-butting things. So, you know, I like to, if I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it, you know. So yeah, I had to stop that, and I just want to join someone's guild and just be like, you know, relax. It's like I don't have to do anything but just, you know, go on events and don't have to worry about any responsibility because, which I don't mind, but yeah.
no,
But it's a learning experience to be a leader of a guild. I'll tell you that, though.
we get that because Naveen and I have both been leaders of Chronicles of Tyria at different. So it's good when you have a couple of people you can divvy up responsibilities and community management and podcasts and
While still be able to, you know, work on these other community projects and, you know, not give this feeling to the other people that you kind of left them behind, which isn't the case. You're just super, you know, busy with everything. And plus, well, everyone has a life, you know?
Yeah.
So.
But
It's
not
weird when you
everyone.
don't log in.
Some of us just to be fair.
Well, I have a life, Bromms.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah. Anybody else want to? I've been asking lots of questions.
Yeah, I guess how long have you been interested in Guild Wars 2, and what brought you into being interested in it?
Ooh, okay. I don't think many people know this. All right. Um, Guild Wars. I knew nothing about Guild Wars. Only the first time I heard about it was back in high school. Right, my friend was like, "Dude, this game is the best game that ever was created," and I saw it, and it was like buy and then you play, right? And I didn't know if it had a subscription fee or not, so I ended up not getting it, right? But I always looked at it and always wondered about it. But I played a lot of MMOs way back. I went through. Uh, I always mention RuneScape and MapleStory because I played a lot of those. But I played a lot of Korean ones. I tried all free to play games, really, just testing them out and having fun and leveling up to max and then probably just dropping them and moving on. And I saw Guild Wars, right? And this is the time where I was I was always on GameTrailers.tv, and I had the cable channel as well, so I was like looking up stuff, and that was usually like my news site that I go on to look up news. And I saw Guild Wars. I was like, wow, this looks pretty cool. This is an MMO because it kind of looks like a game, when you back then MMOs, the animations were jaggy and you stand still and you spam 1, 2, 3, and 4. I never really got into WoW. I leveled up to max in WoW, and then my friends quit the game, and I was like, why should I play? It's just like, and I quit that too. So, I didn't even really get the experience for a while, and saw Guild Wars, and I was like, wow, this looks like they put time into this game. It's not just some crappy MMO that's coming out. And you could see from all the coverage I was getting, I mean, it was crazy hyped, and they barely even did anything. And what they did do was that horrible trailer.
No.
The Hope Smasher trailer.
I mean, like spray paint some walls and come up out of the water, and
I was like, is this Secret World? I'm like, that's what it looked like. With spray painting and stuff. I was like, what is this? But from that I got interested in it, and there was this thing about doing YouTube videos, right? I started with making music on YouTube because I wanted to make a game. But then I started doing some Guild Wars 2 videos just because, I wanted to. And little by little, I grew from no subscribers to 50 to 500. And back then, it was me, Kai Dream, Zol Fury, Snebzor, Tube Elephant, if you ever heard of him, and Woodenpotatoes. He was doing his Guild Wars 1 type stuff back then. And we're all real small. So we started that up, got interested in that. And I really enjoyed the game in beta. And that's when I started getting into it. I was like, wow, this is really fun. And I just started making videos and playing the game and trying to help people to learn the game, because this is definitely a different one than other MMOs. I'll tell you that. And pretty much how I got in. And I played a little bit of Guild Wars 1, got to 30 out of 50. But to get to 50 out of 50, you have to really play. You can't just fast it up in 2 weeks, So,
no.
Yeah.
Well, while we're still on Guild Wars 2 for a sec, just jump back to a question we were going to ask before. In Guild Wars 2, you PvE mostly, PvP, World v World, you kind of mix it all up?
I mostly PvE. I used to do World v World quite a bit, especially at launch. I used to camp the jumping puzzle. I mean, people used to hate Borderless Pass because of us. No one would get through. No one would get their Ocalcum. And that's back then when they were rich. Remember when they were rich Ocalcum? Yeah, that was the stuff. It was fun, man. It was fun creating all these builds and stuff. But now I mostly do PvE, and I want to get back into World v World, especially for the World v World season, and try to create content around that and try to see what I can do with that. Because it would be fun to really capture the season for one server, like the server I'm on. And that's why I want to try to transfer over to a server that's really serious about World v World, because the server I was on, they kind of want to a lot of commanders left because they want to throw the season so they can have sucky people. So they can be at lower brackets and stuff. Yeah, some people are doing that.
How does that
Oh, I
So I
get
want to
it.
go. That's why I'm switching. I'm not switching just because they're like, oh, I want to go to the best server. No, I want a server that takes it seriously.
Uh-huh.
It's like, I don't want. It's a cool thing. I mean, the World War season first season thing. That's a really cool addition to Guild Wars 2. So I kind of want to be a part of it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
So
definitely. And no PvP at all.
PvP sometimes like I mean I made a series with Woodenpotatoes trying to get to learn it, and it just kind of fell off because like the audience is not there for it. I mean I try to get the audience interested in it, but like I have the same thing as the audience. It's like you go in, you play a game, but it's just like if you don't like the mode, you kind of stuck, and you kind of have like you gotta have like I don't like hot join. I learned to hate it after I played tourneys. Tourneys are so much better to play.
Yeah.
Because they're 5 people. They obviously they know at least a little something of what they're doing, and you don't have like 20 people just riding right over you. It's like I always think about the scene in Lion King where Simba just gets ran over. That's exactly what happens in Hot Join when there's like 10 people on the opposite teams. It's like,
Yeah.
So it's that, yeah. When I get a group of 4 other people who are interested in learning PvP, I think I might play a lot more. But it's just like so much content is going into the game, every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So it's just like when you have time to play and when I have time to edit and then life, So when you're married, you can't just play games all day.
Unless your wife plays Guild Wars 2. Oh.
Yeah, well, whatever. Yeah, no, we're foraying. I mean, I do enjoy the PvP, and we're trying to take a different kind of take with our new PvP thing that currently is just me and Bromms, but trying to do suggestions for themes and weird build stuff. Kind of, I saw Woodenpotatoes is doing. He's doing that kind of
build draft.
Yeah, the build draft. We're going for more of like a theme thing. Like, I mean, we did a Ranger versus Ranger one, and now we're planning on. We did like our main characters, and we talked about doing some weird stuff like split all the traits evenly across, so you have like 11 points in each trait line, and like no runes, no sigils, and just go and see what happens. Whatever.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, there's lots to do in there, and I know that they want to really focus on getting this mode like really good. Like the capture point's really good, and they don't want to add any other modes just yet. But it's just like for people who don't like the capture points, it's kind of rough, So maybe GVGs might fill in that hole where people can do PvP stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, but that's like PvP, right? That's not like
yeah.
I don't know. That's how it was in Guild Wars 1.
Guild Wars 1 PvP was different. I liked it though. I mean, you had a couple different ways to go about it. I was always a random arenas guys, which was just basically hot join 4v4 and or I don't even remember. Was it 4v4? 5v5? I don't even remember. 8v8? God, it's been a long time.
It's 4v4, I think.
But it didn't matter because if the other team had a healer and you didn't, that was game. Good luck. They spawn in with a healer, and you're like, well, we got 3 warriors and an elementalist. We better down them quick, otherwise it's game over.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
Alucardalina just put a question in the chat. She wants to know your favorite class in Guild Wars 1 and in Guild Wars 2.
In Guild Wars 1, I ended up liking the Necro. Didn't play very much, but when I did play, I actually enjoyed playing the Necro. I like the minions and what you had to do. Like I like how like it was like part of your build. Like I know like there's some builds in Guild Wars 2 that have that type of feel, but I don't know if it's to the degree of how Guild Wars 1 is. You keep summoning them, and everything's cooldowns in Guild Wars 2. But in Guild Wars 2, it would definitely have to be the Guardian. That's my favorite, of course. But I really like I like every class for something. And definitely, I like the Necro in this as well. I just love the way it's built, how you can go into Death Shroud. I think that's a really cool mechanic. You feel so powerful in that. And of course, we have Torment now, so that's always good. Elementalists are really fun as well. I still have yet to learn it. I just leveled it up to 80, and I haven't touched it yet. But Guardians are like one of my favorites. Because I just like to be support. You know, and do a little damage at the same time. And now we're getting our buff at October 15th. So
I know. So excited. It's interesting that it's no Holy Trinity, but we're gonna buff support because we think that it's needed. So I mean, it's not. It
is needed, I think.
Yeah, because it's a DPS game. You know, it's like everyone's a dang warrior. It's like everyone's doing 100 blades over and over again. It's like
Zerker gear or GTFO.
That. Yep. It's like when is the support needed? Like no one says, "Oh, we need a support." I mean, people say, "Oh, we need a guardian" because of their boons, right? But that's pretty much it. No one says, "Oh, we need support." You know, but nowadays with the Quaddle, is just like, man, getting an Ellie doing all those AoE heals and stuff is actually pretty useful. But all the elitists are like Zerkers. And then they're like, Zerker does not work on Taguado, so good luck with that. No crits or condition damage. So
yeah.
I just, as soon as I stop picking up all the people that play Zerker builds from the ground, I'll start buying into that a little bit more. But I swear every time I'm in dungeon with people that play Zerker builds, they're always on the ground, and I'm like, well, we're all wasting damage now because I'm picking your ass up. So cool.
Exactly. But it's like, who's picking you up? Yes, that's right, the support. I remember someone commented like, "Who wants to play support tank?" When I made a build video, and I was like, "What do you mean? It's a role in Guild Wars 2. You can't just be all Zerker warriors and call it." Oh my gosh, people are just so like they want their damage. Even though I like damage and stuff like that, but it's just like I'd rather just be needed. I like being needed. If there was a healer, I probably would try the healer. But that's if it was like fun and stuff. I don't know. Do you guys? I usually ask this for a lot of people. Like, do you guys miss the Holy Trinity? Like, do you miss like tanking a little bit? I mean, not to say Guild Wars 2, what they're doing is not good, but it's just like, do you kind of miss it sometimes, being able to tank?
I think if support was more prominent in this game, I think what they could do to fix it is make it so a lot of the bigger dungeon things don't just one-shot you, whether you dodge or not. Because I think the dodge mechanic is really cool, but it takes away some of what the support has to do. Because you can run a Zerker build, and if you're really good, you could technically dodge everything, and you don't need any toughness. So I think if they made the support roles more prominent, I'd like it. I don't think I like the Trinity idea, but I think if they could expand the roles for everybody, that'd be better.
Right. Some build diversity is what I want.
Yes. Absolutely.
And of course, they've been working on it from this whole year. So they keep switching the traits, and now we're going to get more skills and traits. So they could totally change the game just by adding more skills and traits. Because Guild Wars 1 had tons and tons and tons of stuff. I was just overwhelmed. Good thing I had a friend guiding me through it, because I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
The learning curve on that was insane. Yeah. It was insane. But build diversity would be great. And now the supports are getting a buff, which some World v. World people might not be happy because from what I heard, Guardians are already unkillable. So
yeah.
See about that.
Zerker warrior.
I'm a little bit different when it comes to MMOs, because really the only real, I guess, if you even want to call it a true MMO that I've ever really played is Guild Wars 1 and Guild Wars 2. I played Phantasy Star Online, but that wasn't really like the original, but that wasn't really an MMO. So I've only ever really seen them. I mean, I understand the Holy Trinity and know how the mechanics work from other games and things like that, but I would love to see a buff to support, because I like being that guy that's like, oh, well, because in Guild Wars 1, one of the hardest things to do was to find some sort of healing or support or to help you move through a dungeon or a hard content. It was like, who wants to do that? And it's like, I don't really want to. Do we have somebody? Do we know someone that can do that? Do we want to just looking for group, need healer? And then,
Yeah.
I'm like, but if I could do that and be that guy, I'll be a hero, like I'm
Yeah.
all for it. I want the support buff. That's why I chose Guardian as my main, or, and you can kind of do that with Water Ellie, but it's not as good as Guardian. So
What?
It-
What?
it's it's
What?
it's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's just that you have to switch. Heard of elementalists staying on 1 and 2 men? Like really, no one, no
Hey,
one.
hey, hey,
You
You
hey.
gotta switch.
No, I really like though. The thing is, like, well, Guild Wars 1, if you wanted to be a support, you really had, Monk, and it's just all you would do in game would be to stare at, your party names and just like spam skills, and you're just, okay, gotta heal, oh, dropping or curing and all. But in Guild Wars 2, it's really cool. Like my Ellie has this one armor set where it's just support, and I can still do damage because I have like 30 in earth damage, right? For my tankness. But it's really good support, and I didn't build my build, unfortunately. I have to give props to my husband because he's the best at doing that. But it's really good because all I do when I go in there is just, keep healing people and keep making sure that people have regen. But I can still beat up some stuff. So not just Guardians that can do that.
I will say that I do like that in Guild Wars 2 you can still be a good healer without just having to watch your party's heal bars, and that's all. Because in WoW I played a healing druid, and that was pretty much what you had to do. Was you sat back, you watched everybody's health bars, and you cast heal over times over everybody when they needed it. So Guild Wars 2 has a cool system where you can be a lot more active, but you can still be really good for your group. Like I said before, they need to expand on it and make it so that damage isn't just the king of dungeons all the time.
Right.
But I think it's getting there. To be fair, it's getting there.
Yeah, because I mean, if like for instance, the new dungeon, don't you know if you don't get the oils off the floor, right? If you don't use the ooze to get the oil, you get like these your life starts ticking away, right? So you get a bunch of these stacks. And really, if pugs were smart, they would kind of group up. I'll give you a nice little healing buff, and then of course you can go back to attacking the boss, or I go to you. But pugs are like all over the place and stuff. But like if you're an organized way, you can practically just keep healing them. And even if the oozes are if someone like you didn't get to the oil in time or something like that, you'll still keep full health. Really, if you just gotta know what you're doing.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I can't wait. I think I might go clerics, because right now I have power, toughness, vitality right now.
Right.
And I can't wait for legendary armor so I can just switch my build anytime I want to.
So great.
Yeah.
It's fascinating to me. I just cannot wait for that.
I think the other aspect of that too is that a lot of people they either don't understand or they don't appreciate how the I just totally forgot the word, the combo breaker things work. So you might throw it on a water field, and half the time people are going to run out of it because they don't know what it is. But there's abilities where you can break those open and do blast finishers on them and get more healing out. And I don't know if it's that people don't know or if they just don't care, but I think that there's a lot of play that could happen around those combo fields that just don't happen right now. Yeah. So maybe they could do something with that to make support more friendly too. I don't know, but
well, my husband always runs with his hammer, and whenever I spawn that fountain's like
Yeah, a lot of people don't know about those combo fields. I'm pretty sure. There's a lot of casuals. Not that is a bad thing, but there's a lot of casuals in Guild Wars 2, and I mean you see that every time a hard piece of content comes out, and you go using that LFG tool, especially the new content that just came out. Like you get a lot of casuals going in, and they don't know any of this stuff. They don't. They just leveled up in the area, and some of them don't even know how to dodge. Really.
Yeah, that's true.
So like, I'm pretty sure. Like I don't even know all the combo fields, and I've been playing for a very long time. But yeah, I see that a lot in PvP though. Like I see like I forgot what the combo field is, but the thief would use his short bow and keep exploding, and it would just heal him for full health. Like it was nuts before. I mean, this was months ago, so when I saw this happening, but I was like, man, those combo fields are ridiculous if you know how to do them.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Well, that's Ella Cordelina in the chat mentions you do learn them a lot in World versus World because you'll see a lot of, or maybe not
Stacking.
everybody will see, but yeah, you'll see stacking and commanders when you drop like you're building rams and stuff and you're attacking a gate. They'll say water fields and blast finishers. So everybody puts down water fields and people do the blast finishers to get that massive group heal to try to keep people up while they're ramming down a gate or a wall or catapulting a wall or whatever.
Wow.
So.
I got sidetracked because in the chat room someone said, "Is Naveen a boy or a girl?"
Wow.
Oh.
I'm sad. I'm a 13-year-old boy. I'm a chick.
Yeah, I don't really know how there's any confusion with that, but
Yeah, me either.
Let's
Does that
let's anyway, let's keep moving on.
Anyway.
Sidetrack from that.
Whatevs.
Don't feed the troll.
Oh, look at the compliments. Oh, sexy.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, it comes from Joel.
That
though.
person was actually Naveen on an alternate account. She's like, let me drum up some compliments.
Yeah, sure. Oh my gosh. No. So we do know about your favorite class. What's your favorite race?
Ooh, wow. You know, at launch, I really, really liked Azuras. I like Azura as a race, but not as one to play with.
No?
Because the animations are great and everything, but when I was getting my legendary, toothpick size legendaries, I am sorry. But I actually really like the Norn, because they're just these huge guys who are just like, I don't know, like, burly men, and then the girls are like all huge, and like I really like the Norns. Man, I would have to say as a race, man, I enjoy a lot of them, but I guess Azuras as a race, I enjoy them the most.
Yeah.
Because I like their lore and their history and all the jokes that they make, and some of them are smart, some of them are funny, some of them are they make jokes all the time. You ever hear all those NPC conversations that they have?
Yeah.
They're really funny, and Felicia Day voiced one of them, so
Yeah.
that's part of it.
Well, that's a big
That's what's
argument.
up.
Nice.
Yeah.
So we know about your Guild Wars 2, but how did you get starting in gaming? Period. Like,
Oh,
how'd that start?
when I was a wee little boy, I was 5, and at my birthday, my mom got me a Nintendo.
Yeah.
A Nintendo, and got me Ninja Turtles.
One or two?
Your favorite Ninja Turtle?
Man.
Oh man,
Brutal.
I think it's part 2. And because it was co-op.
Okay.
I can't remember if the first
That's
one
2.
was co-op or
Yeah.
not. Yeah, that's 2. So, man, there was so many. We put that in and we played co-op, and it was the best experience ever, man. I mean, come on, like playing a video game for the first time as a kid, your face lights up and it's just like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. Like, who cares about playing ball? Who cares about going outside and getting sun? I used to be black, but now I'm white because I play video games. So that's like, yeah, man. I spend most of my time playing video games after then on. I went from rising my life. Why am I flat laughing in the background? Or from Nintendo, then I got Super Nintendo. I really wish I kept all my stuff, all my games. When I was young, you don't really think about that type of stuff. You think about the now. You don't really think about the future. I'm so different now. I went from Nintendo, then Super Nintendo, then N64, then Dreamcast.
Oh man.
Yes.
Power Stone, Fantasy Star Online, what you were saying. Man, Power Stone was the best, dude. Sonic Adventures. If you enjoy all the bugs and stuff, it was great. Still a great game. Still a great game, even though it was kind of horrible. But it's still a great game, especially the end when they get all the power of the Chaos Emeralds and they're like start going like this. It's like Shadow and Sonic's just like shaking their hand, and it really looks weird. It really looks weird. I'm not gonna say what it looks like, but it looks like just funny moments like that. The animations were just horrible. It's such a good game. Horrible games were so good, man.
Yeah.
I had everything. PlayStation, went to the PlayStation stages, played through a bunch of Final Fantasy games. I mean, who hasn't? PS2, then got an Xbox, traded it in for PS2 because Xbox back in the days was kind of bad. Xbox was kind of bad. All you had was Halo, and I went over to my friend's house to play Halo online. And
You needed hands that were huge to hold the controller because the original one was like this big.
Fat.
Yeah.
They were fat. And then, of course, Xbox 360 and PS3. I had both, but I mostly played my Xbox 360 because the online was greatly superior on Xbox. Sorry, PS3 guys. Even though PS3, like there were some games on the PS3 that you just had to play. Uncharted.
Oh my god, yeah.
Uncharted is one of those games. It's just like you can't get there anywhere else. Demon's Souls, when it was exclusive, that was one of the best games to play. Like those exclusives, man. I mean, really, that speaks like because 3DS. I got a 3DS just for Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
So, those exclusives really hit it off. And of course, Kingdom Hearts. I mean, come on. Kingdom Hearts. I love me some Kingdom Hearts. So, yeah. But yeah, that's when I got started.
Do you have a favorite game? Like, aside from Guild Wars 2, do you have anything that you just always have to go back and play or anything like that?
An old game. I gotta say, it's kind of weird, but I really like Mario, and my favorite Mario that I will always go back and play is Super Mario World for Super Nintendo. It's probably one of my favorite games of all time. It is extremely long, so many secrets.
Oh yeah.
It doesn't get old. I also like Link to the Past. Link to the Past, like to this day, it looks amazing, right? Like it's just like you could put it on a console right now. It's just like, oh, you don't need to change the graphics. You don't need to update it. No, just the art was just done perfectly, and that's how kind of I feel with Super Mario World. Like those games are just like they did everything right.
Yep.
And now we have Super Mario Bros. New, and it's nothing like Super Mario World. I want it so bad.
There was definitely something very special about Super Nintendo just as a console and the games that came out for it. I don't know exactly what it was, but more so than any other game system, I go back to my Super Nintendo because there's just so many good games on that system.
So many, man.
And
one of my favorite systems.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Super Mario RPG. Love that game.
Blowing out.
That was good.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Such a great game.
Dude, such a great game. And all the music, man. The music.
Music
has a lot to do with those games, man.
Yeah.
That 8-bit, 16-bit music, MIDI music, just you can't. Sometimes, I mean, I love grand scores and things like that, and I love the new Pokemons have like actual music, but I still want my red and blue 8-bit music. Like that's where
Lavender
it's at.
Town.
Yeah.
Lavender.
Oh man, that's
in the anime. I just watched the origin. They had like a 4-episode thing. I don't know if you watched it. It's only 4 episodes, and it's like a little movie thing. And they went to Lavender Town, and they had like a remix version of Lavender Town Red.
That's awesome.
And I was like, oh yeah, so good, so good. Oh man, and that's why I'm getting Pokemon, because of that experience I had way back. Pokemon is one of my favorite games. I mean, remember watching, Saturday morning, watching the new Pokemon and playing the game. Like it was like one of the best moments in gaming in my life. Like, and there's many. There's many other games in Pokemon that are great, and now they're changing the formula, and it's just like all the old guys. Like you even hear like Total Biscuit. He's like, oh, I'm getting Pokemon because I used to play.
Yep.
So weird. It's gonna be weird, but I'm gonna play it. Like an old guy like that, like all the old gamers who have played Pokemon, they're getting a 3DS just to play it. Because all the other games were like kind of, they were good. I didn't play all the new Pokemons, but they were kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
So, just new Pokemon that looked like ice cream and.
Yeah. I mean, how can you? It's great. That's the pinnacle.
I think they have one that looks like a trash can now. So that's a thing.
Yeah,
I can see that.
Yeah, yeah, but it's fine. It's fine though.
It's a Pokemon.
Yeah.
As long as they have, now we get to pick the original 3. So,
that was
Charmander. One of I always pick fire. So Charmander, it's like.
So I'm at a distinct disadvantage right now.
And like if I was thinking about this logically, I would get the grass type, right? The grass type for the new 3, and then get Blastoise, get Squirtle, right? And because we're getting Blaziken for free.
Yeah, that's true.
Getting Blaziken for free, so like you have like the 3 Pokemon, but no, I gotta get my charge. Anyways.
Yeah. No, well, now you get a 3DS, you'll be able to get A Link Between Worlds, the sequel to A Link to the Past.
Yes. You know what the only thing, I love my 3DS, and I think the 3D is amazing. I didn't think 3D was that good on a 3DS. I was like, wow, holy crap. But there's no virtual console for Super Nintendo. Come on now. What's up with that? What's up with that? Only for Wii U. So that's
it's... Well, I mean, we'll talk after the show. We're getting distracted.
Yeah.
All right, we talked about Guild Wars 2. What do you think, and we kind of went over this a little bit, but what do you think about the state of the game right now? Are you still as, like, wowed and enthralled with Guild Wars 2 now as you were at launch? How do you...
Okay, wow, tough question. I always answer this, like, very carefully. But no, seriously. Like, before I thought Guild Wars 2 was like, oh man, this game might be going downhill because the living story thing was just not cutting it. Not cutting it. In the beginning of the year, I was just like, oh no, what are you doing, ArenaNet? And then they got better, right? And they started announcing all these things, all these changes, and they actually fulfilled a lot of those changes. I think it's going somewhere. I really do think it's going somewhere. And even though these last 2 patches were, hardcore focus, which is not most of the community, and they were a little bare, but I think the next few patches would be like huge, especially with the season, the changes to the traits and stuff like that. I think if they play their cards right, they could be one of the best MMOs, right? I mean, they're being played a lot. I don't know their active number. Really, we could only assume like they're saying like, oh, 600,000 playing at one time. Yeah, it might be at launch. What they're talking about that, not to say it's empty, because I mean, really, Guild Wars 2 is not empty at all, and it's extremely popular because it's just spread out between all the servers.
Right.
I have to agree with expansion. Getting players to look at it again, because I know a lot of new players are coming into Guild Wars, but a lot of the existing players, they kind of put Guild Wars 2 on the side, I think. A lot of people have, and I mean, I'm sure you've heard of that before. I mean, it's become like a thing now, and it's a little bit over-exaggerated, but I think if they keep moving in this direction, this will be a good chance to come up with some really crazy content, because right now they get new stories from the living story, and it's decent, but if they come up with an expansion, it will really get people like excited. And if they have, and Guild Wars 2 has changed from the launch, has changed drastically and for the better, right? Guild Wars 2 at launch it wasn't so good, so I think it's heading in the right direction. I think it's actually pretty good to log in and play. There's a lot of content to do. For me, I log in mostly to level up a character, mess with a couple builds, play with friends, and the new content. I'm not really a fractal guy. I'm not really a dungeon guy unless I'm going for tokens. So there's not really anything there for me right now, other than that, And I feel like once they come out with maybe some changes to the fractals, or I don't know, I don't know what exactly Guild Wars 2 is missing. I feel like it's missing that thing, because the rewards, for instance, I complain about the rewards. The rewards, I feel like it's not good enough, right? That's why I don't do the dungeons. I do the dungeons, but just not as much as I used to. I just done it all the time, and I feel like it needs that feeling when you're in town. It's like, look at this, look what I got, And I know I understand Guild Wars 2 is not that game, but I don't want to go on this long rant. But I just really think that they're heading in the right direction, and I think they know what they're missing, and they have been filling that role for quite a bit, little by little, every 2 weeks, which is amazing. 2 weeks, every 2 weeks. No other game is doing that.
No.
Yeah.
So high praise for that. But I mean, you want what you want in the game, right? It's not a perfect game, but you want that certain thing. So yeah. That's
well said, sir.
Great answer.
Yeah.
So if there was one thing that you had the power to change in Guild Wars 2 right now, what do you think it would be?
Ooh. Oh man.
Questions.
Sorry. Inquiring minds
man.
want to know.
Change. It would definitely have to be rewards. I was about to say the way how they do gear, but give legendary secret powers. Yeah. I got one, and I'm selfish.
Nice.
I would like to change how the way they do rewards, really. I feel like blues and greens is just not enough. And I would love for players to have an incentive to do new content, especially level 80 content,
Yeah.
We go to fractals, everyone has all the rings they can have, and they have way more, right? And there's nothing we could do with the rings as well. Like all these rewards that we get, and most of them being soul bound to your character and not being able to do anything with them, like the rewards need to be reworked a little bit, For it's my opinion on that, because I love my loots. What can I say? That's what I play games for. I love having stuff that no one else has, and I've worked hard for it, and I did the hardcore stuff. I have a group and blah, blah, blah. I love doing that. But I feel like even though they're adding that stuff in right now, like they have the hardcore new Twilight Arbor, right, which is a great dungeon, paced well, great boss fights. If you're organized well. If you're not organized well, good luck. The rewards not there, and RNG all over the place. So, which RNG is fine. It's RNG. So they have it hard, because how can you balance? Okay, we have to make it not so easy, right? But not too hard either, because or to get the loot, or people will just get it right away, or people might lose interest if it's too hard to get.
Right.
So they have to find like the medium, and it's hard. It's hard to do that. We can sit here and complain all day, but it's like, it's hard. So yeah, they just need to find that. They need to find that. They're adding more hardcore content, which really that's what I like. I definitely like the message board idea. I never told you guys. I don't know if you guys ever heard of this, but how Tequado, not like people assume that Tequado's out, no one's doing it anymore, right? That's how everyone feels, because you go to Tequado, it's like, oh, let's go kill Tequado. No one's there, because all the people who want to do it are all spread out on different servers and have certain times that they're doing it. Right. And I wish that they had a message board that would say, okay, Turnish Coast is having an event for this, or Boirless Pass is having an event for this. Come join us at 7 p.m. on Wednesday to defeat Tequado. So everyone, not only people who are just connected to the internet, because there's as we mentioned, there's a lot of casuals, right? So people don't know, that these events are going on unless they're looking on Reddit, unless they're looking on the forums.
Yeah.
No one knows, Good thing that they have the LFG tool now, because really not everyone knows about the LFG website, right? That everyone used to use. So yeah, there goes my answer.
All right.
I talk too much.
No, it's all good.
Nice. In one word, how would you describe your visit to ArenaNet's office?
Awesome.
Awesome.
Hey, that's such a regular word, but it's crazy meeting people and them telling you, oh, they watch your stuff and they make the game. Like it's just like not every, of course, only the people who came up to me like me. Of course, I'm not gonna say like everyone in the office was like, oh my gosh, Matt Fisher, and they're chanting my name, and, waving, signs. Oh my Matt Fisher, oh my god, no. But like, they came up to me like, oh, enjoy your stuff, and some devs even came up to me and said, oh, I like your criticism. Joshua Foreman actually came up to me and he said, you like my stuff, and he's my favorite developer because he made Super Adventure Box and Halloween Clock Tower, not by himself. He has a team.
Yeah.
I always like to say that, it's like,
It's
one guy, he's just like the face of it, He's a big Zelda guy and everything, but like, like for them to come up to me and say, "Oh man, I enjoy your stuff. Man, you're actually funny. Keep doing your thing. We like the criticism. Even though it's hard to hear. Because we make it and stuff like that. But like, they enjoy that, and I'm glad. It makes you feel happy and jittery. It's like, man, you're doing something. Because I don't really consider myself that big. I don't think any of us do that are in like YouTuber, Dante and Woodenpotatoes. Like we don't really think of each other as like huge YouTubers. You can't really make a living off what we're doing right now. We're just doing this on the side, really. This is we're not gaining a lot of money like people might think. So,
Epic Guild Wars 2 time. That's what we
yeah.
Guild Wars 2 marbles. So,
YouTube money. And see like a very small pizza with just a little bit of sauce and a little bit of cheese. Like, yep, that's what YouTube money can buy. But yeah, like going to the office. If you've seen the video, I have a video of when I kind of walked through and kind of recorded it all.
Yeah.
They have like, it's of course very clean. I would hope so. It have all these concepts art on the side of the walls, and it really huge, blown up. I would really love to have a couple of those posters. Stuff I've never seen before, and all the cubicles. Well, not cubicles. All the desks are like together in like these big places, and like everyone can talk to each other. Like all the art department and the story department are all like together, and they can all like kind of talk to each other and stuff like that. And yeah, they were very inviting. We had pizza. We had They have like these dispensers that dispense candy and cereal just by opening up, like kind of like the college campus.
Right.
Yeah.
And then they have these huge 2 refrigerators, like the ones from one of those nice gas stations.
Right.
They have everything, like from milk to sodas to juice to Red Bull,
Yep.
And
So we all need to go work for ArenaNet is basically what you're saying.
it seems like a good time, man. It seems like a good time, but man, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember watching that video of your tour of the offices and you just drooling over the fridge. I was like, awesome.
I was like, oh my gosh. Oh, that is ridiculous. And Ruby was like, oh, yeah, we have all these drinks and stuff here. You can have one. I was like, oh my gosh. Just like, yes. Oh my gosh. Just unlimited drinks. I wonder if there's a rule, because if I worked there, I would be drinking everything. Everything. They would have to keep restocking every day. They have Yahoos and all that. I mean, Starbucks in there too. It's crazy.
Wow.
Bring you in the office going like, yeah, Matt, so we need to talk about that one thing.
Yeah.
Inventory in the fridge section.
Yeah, Matt, I'm gonna need you to just go ahead and not drink so many things out of the fridge. If you could do that, that'd be great.
Less drinking, more work, Matt. More work.
So, we're coming to the end of our little question here. But what does the future hold for you? You've got any new things on the horizon that you want to talk about, or?
Um, make videos. Um, I've been really wanting to do animation, and I've been looking for an animator, to do some animation. I want to start some new series, and I kind of want to just do it in like a weekly fashion, like every week. I want to set a schedule because I kind of want to branch out into like other stuff as well, other than Guild Wars 2 and stuff like that. So it's just like it's one of those things, you know. But yeah, you know, I want to become bigger and better. I mean, we always strive. Like, you can't just be the same thing over and over again. You kind of have to change. You kind of have to get better. I mean, if I watch any of my videos that I did way back, holy crap. Is there a difference in the way I talk, in the way I do things, in the way I edit is a lot better. So I always try to go bigger and better, really, and more laughs and stuff. Yeah.
Nice.
Yep.
Awesome.
All right. So, like we said, we're gonna keep it an hour. Here we are, coming up on 2.
It just flew right by.
Yeah. So
Seems to happen every week.
yeah, well, yeah. Well, we don't. It is what it is. So I guess just real quick before we kind of close this out, Halloween next week, next Tuesday.
Yeah.
No, it's not Halloween next Tuesday. It's a Halloween.
Halloween content next Tuesday.
There
I'm
you
sorry.
go.
Halloween is in many more days from now.
Yes.
Approximately 21 days. But yes, Halloween content, the return of kind of Mad King Thorn, but his son, Bloody Prince.
Yeah.
Edric. So, what do you guys think? You guys like to see this difference from Mad King Thorn? Do you think he'll still be there, or is it all going to be around his son?
Oh, I think he'll still be there.
Yeah.
The Mad King says is there and stuff like that.
that's
I
true,
thought they were gonna replace it. I was like, no. Unless they got a really good voice actor for the Bloody Prince, please do not replace the Mad King. You know, yeah. Hopefully he's good. Hopefully, you know, he's kind of psychotic. You know, like he looks like the Joker, right? So hopefully, you know, Heath Ledger will come from the grave and you know, voice act the Bloody Prince. So that'd be pretty cool. I know, right? It just makes you want to cry, really. Like, can you imagine Bane and the Joker in the same movie?
Oh my goodness.
It would have been amazing.
I
Holy
just really
crap.
would that the Joker would make fun of Bane's accent. That's what I would hope for.
Probably.
Yeah.
His Sean Connery, Adam Sandler mixture of voice. The city is yours. But anyway, back to Mad
Guild
King
Wars.
and Guild Wars.
Who's
So
the
the return
mother,
of-
huh? Who's the mom? Who's
Yeah,
his son?
he-
Who's the mom?
Oh, I heard he killed like 9 of his wives.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had like 8 wives, 8 or 9 wives.
Wow.
So it's possible that I believe, and I think Woodenpotatoes even said this too on his video about it, that 2 of the wives were confirmed to be killed by him. So that leaves
Oops.
6 or 7 wives left.
That mysteriously disappeared.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he has many wives at the same time.
I don't know if they were at the same time,
Oh,
but
okay.
they might have been like, has one, offs her, next one.
And then some of them survived the lunar.
So, something must have happened because there's a son.
Yeah.
Well, at least one of them had to survive 9 months at the very least.
What exactly is the Mad King? Is he? He's not human, right? So he's what? What is he?
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
He was the king of Kryta back in the day, and he was very unjust, and like he would have these grand feasts while all of his subjects were starving, and eventually they uprised and they went in and came into his throne room, and I think the exact quote is they got very creative with his body, which I think is what the Mad King face came from, and like that they carved, because Guild Wars 1 was pretty dark at times.
Wow.
Like it said that they got very creative with his corpse, and I feel like that's where the pumpkin face kind of thing came from. That's my personal opinion, anyway.
Whoa. How is he not killing us?
Well, that's and then he's locked away in his own realm in the underworld where he can only come forth one day a year.
So I guess he might as well have fun then, yeah.
And that whole thing with Guild Wars 2, with the start one, he hadn't been seen for so long, and he broke out, and there was actually a dungeon, rather than him just showing up and doing a Mad King Says and then going away. And that was the whole part of the lunatic court, to break however many unknown number of seals, I think it is, that keeps him there to one day a year, so that he can come out 365 days of the year and then torment all of Tyria, which is definitely a plot hook if the game starts to get stale, I think. That thing comes and reinvents the entire game.
We'll see about that.
Yeah. Well, that's what they did, kind of. That's how they explained some of the things in PvP in Guild Wars 1. They added that flux system where once a month there was some weird factor where, don't put an elite skill on your bar and you get 30% more damage in PvP and all these different things. And they said that's because some of the seals were broken, and in the mists where the PvP takes place, the barrier is lessened because we broke the seals, and that's why everything changes month to month because of the Mad King.
Mm-hmm.
So they could do that in Guild Wars 2, bring in stuff, monthly fluxes to PvP to change it up. I don't know. Clock Tower's back. Think it's gonna be different. Think it's gonna be the same.
I think it might be different.
I've had a year of practice at puzzle jumping.
I'm sure that they'll add or change a couple things, but I think it'll be large. I hope it's largely the same because it was super cool last time.
Yeah.
Candy corn merchants. So if you saved up all your candy corn, like I did, still got 3,000 candy corns.
Wow.
Lag.
That's ridiculous.
I thought it was gonna be this was. You got to realize this is October. The game came out in September. I'm trying to long-term invest. I'm like, this candy corn's going to be worth so much in July. I know it.
Turns out
It
it's
might be
13
worth a
coppers.
lot of money, though, because we're getting a node, right? In the personal instance. So that might mean that, you might be able to make some money off of that. You never know if it's really rare.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens.
I'm hoping that there'll be some grand, awesome weapon skin. Like maybe the return of the old Halloween weapon skins, but for massive amounts of candy corn, maybe.
Mm.
Kind of like the Dragon Bash, like the Jormag, or the Jawbreaker things where you had to put so many... yeah, it's ridiculous how much you had to put in, but yeah.
Zytappy into Jawbreakers into a weapon skin, yeah.
Right.
That would be cool.
Live Spartan in the chat room says, I find some info on Edric. His wife and son, Prince Edric, were also killed, ending the Thorn dynasty, and the throne went to his cousin. Prince Edric died the same day Thorn did, killed by the same mob.
Oh, wow.
And again, somehow related to Queen Salma from Guild Wars 1, because she became the rightful queen of Kryta towards the end of the War in Kryta. At the end of War in Kryta, which again broke one of the seals that kept Mad King Thorn. So that again,
Crazy stuff.
I want to sneak into ArenaNet and find the lore notebook and be like, all right, I know what's gonna happen now.
You just have to get Jeff Grubb and Reese Osby and Angel in the same room and then say, okay, this is what's gonna happen, guys. I'm opening my notebook right now. I'm taking notes.
We'll start working on that.
Yeah, that's not creepy either. Just show up and be like, all right, I'm going to lock you guys in a room. Tell me everything.
Yeah.
You got Woodenpotatoes hidden in the back going like, I'm listening.
But yeah, we don't really have too much. I hope that we have something kind of like that scavenger hunt that we had the first time to get the backpack, the burning book backpack, because I thought that was a pinnacle of something that I really loved about Halloween 1.0, if you will, for Guild Wars 2, was you have a little bit of text and it's go find this location, and when you find all 5 locations you get the backpack. And I hope we get that back, because that was something, and again, I think Woodenpotatoes mentioned it too. It was like a traditional quest, and I didn't realize that I missed traditional quests. And now that I think about that, that's what that was, and that's what I loved so much. I guess I missed traditional questing.
Yeah, I really hope they do bring. I mean, I guess it's one of those things. It's like, oh, if you didn't get the backpack, it'll be good for people to get it now. Blah blah. Like kind of did what they did with a Super Adventure Box.
Mhm.
But it's also very exclusive when you have the fiery backpack, and the only way to have gotten it was to play in Halloween. So that might be interesting to actually see. But they didn't mention it at all, which they've tend to do sometimes. Sometimes they have like a little extra bit in the patches and they don't mention it. But I haven't seen any more. I mean, people are just tired of backpacks. I think at this point, like every time it's a backpack, it's just like, okay, ArenaNet, like seriously, no bank space, no bank.
I need like at least 20 or more characters to have individual backpacks.
And
every
transmutation
link
stones are
Yes.
are bad because if you have a Ascended Gear backpack and you're trying to transmutate it, like you can't just delete the other one. You have to use a splitter now, which you have to pay for as well. But wardrobe, where you at?
Yes.
Where you at?
Yeah. I mean, at least this time it seems like Mad King Says is actually going to give us a mask that we can wear in combat, unlike the witch hat that we got last time. That is a town clothes item, which is
Town clothes.
Super
What's
useful.
That?
Yeah, right.
What's that? That doesn't
Role-playing
even exist.
accessories.
And again, you don't have a place to store them. You take them off to switch to like a costume that you bought in the gem store or something.
Yeah.
And if you delete them, they're gone forever. So
Sucks.
yeah,
It does.
Sucks.
That actually happened to me last time because I bought a witch's set and I gave the broom to a character and I accidentally deleted that character before I took it off.
Oh no.
And so I wrote them and I was like, I really don't want to buy the whole witch's set again. Can I just get the broom? And they were like, no, we can't do it, which is fine. I understand that. So I bought the witch's set again just to get that broom, and then like 2 months later they sold it separately. It's like, no.
Oh no.
Yeah, but say lovey. Still happens.
yeah. So I think that's pretty much really it. I mean, we're gonna have cool minis and cool other things for Halloween. But do you guys have anything you're super excited for? You hope happens for Halloween, other than this massive balance patch and support coming into its own?
Yeah, well, they're doing the combat quality of life upgrade too, which sounds really interesting. They haven't said exactly what's going to be in that, but I know like the condition damage is going to have an alternate look that you can turn on, and I think it's mostly just the visual stuff of combat to make it easier to figure out what's going on. So that could be really good, depending on what all that involves. But mostly, it's just looking forward to Halloween. It's going to be good.
Yeah.
I did have one question before I asked, but I don't think you heard me. Who's your favorite Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, Matt?
It would have to be Donatello.
That's right.
That's Brom's favorite too.
Yeah. Well, me and Naveen, Michelangelo fans. That's where that's at. I think my Michelangelo mask is somewhere in that wall of Ninja Turtle stuff in the back over there.
Oh wow.
Oh yeah, this is.
I need to get something like that. Just a big, shelf for me to like just put all my geeky stuff on.
Yeah. Well, I built this whole room. This was just an empty room.
Oh
when I
wow.
moved into this house, it was just concrete. So I built it. I built all the furniture and everything. I'm a, pretty handy dude.
Is that all systems there and all those sockets?
Right here?
Yeah.
Yeah. These are all systems. I don't know if you can see this. I got all my crap on this table here.
That's
but
a
I built
man
this table.
cave. That's a real
This
man
table,
cave.
I built it to recess all my old Nintendo, Super Nintendo, N64 games in the table.
Oh wow.
He's pretty crafty.
That's crazy. See, I'm looking for a place in Georgia to get a bunch of like retro games from. Just like build my collection from scratch all over again. I had Dreamcast and N64, but I let my friend hold it, and
No.
yeah, this was way back when I wasn't using it, and I was like, you know what? You have like 3 brothers here, hold it, and he lost it, and he's here, he's in Georgia, so he's gonna buy me my stuff back. It's gonna cost him a lot of money.
Yeah,
Oh boy, he doesn't know what he is. He's in for some stuff. Yeah. But there's a few stars down here that I want to get. I definitely want to get a Super Nintendo. I have to. I have to pay like $50 or $60 just to get one of those Super Mario World boxes. Oh my gosh. Might be a little bit more than that.
Yeah. So, all right, guys, we're starting to drag on continually about other non-Guild Wars related things. So we're probably going to wrap this up so that we can actually talk about that and not feel like we're monopolizing all of your time.
And this week we don't have a question of the week. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, we're not doing that this week. We have Mad Visual here. No question. All right, guys. So again, for episode number 66 of the Chronicles of Teria podcast, I'm Lagwyn.
I'm Bromms.
I'm Naveen.
I'm Mad Visual.
We'll see you next time. And outro music warning.
Only I can hear it.
Unless you use it.
Friend code.
Yes, I have to get you my there's I'll go get it.
You need to post it right now.
I know, I have to post it on the forums. I know. Well, remember I was going to do an unboxing video of my Pokemon DS, complain about the transfer process.